Hi there and welcome to Lear Academy and Learn With Us How To. Please don't forget to share, subscribe, like, and we will continue with our regular videos. Thank you. So today we're going to talk about taking notes for your CAEL exam. So there are some tips and ideas that I have learned preparing for my CAEL test, and I will share that with you as other videos that I have already posted. So today we'll learn about how to take notes. So first of all, note taking instruction. First thing, we will go for note taking for reading section. As you know that during the exam you'll be given a note or papers, because you don't have to bring on your own papers. You'll be given papers if you're doing at the test centers. If you're doing online, then you can buy a small board, a white small board that you will have to show to the camera before your exam. That one you'll be using for note. So basically, the first thing you'll be doing is on the board or the paper, you'll be writing the topic of each paragraph. So basically, you'll be having a paragraph during the reading section. So you will be writing a bulletin point of the topic of each of those paragraphs. So if you have 5 paragraphs, that will be 5 bulletin topics. So this will be helping you when you see the question. It will be helping you to know which paragraph belongs to which topic. So basically, if a question is about a specific topic, or century, or what date, or whatever, so you'll be already having it in one of the 5 topics or notes or bulletins that you have. So I'll write for you an example of a specific reading topics and how the notes would be. Follow me. So what we're talking about, note taking for reading. As we say, on the whiteboard, small whiteboard, board or paper, write topic of each paragraph. So I'm just writing this so that sometimes, I've already explained it, but I want you to, maybe you'll remember it by reading it, and I'll take a picture of this at the end of the video so you guys will be having it. So now we'll go to the form how the notes would be. So the notes would be like this. Just imagine it's on a paper that you're writing, or on the whiteboard, the small whiteboard that you have. So we'll say notes. Okay, so this is what we're talking about. So it could say paragraph 1. I'm just going to write it with P, and then we'll say paragraph 1. So it would be as an example of the intro of the reading. Conventions. Right? So this we could say in the first paragraph. Second paragraph, we could say, it depends about the topic of the reading. Let's say to one of the readings that I have learned in the CAEL class, on the online class, let's say as an example, we would say the second paragraph would have would talk about modern romance. It will also talk about Gothic novel. So now I know that the first paragraph is talking about the intro or conventions. The second paragraph is also talking about modern romance and Gothic novel. So let's say the third paragraph, early, mid, 19th century. As you can see here, so that I didn't write middle, I just wrote mid. So always try to use abbreviations that will make you remember, because you don't have much time, so you don't have to write the whole word. And then I wrote here 19th, and then I wrote here C. So C is abbreviation, so instead of writing century, so I just C, and I would remember what it's talking about. So the third paragraph is talking about early mid 19th century. So we'll go to the fourth paragraph. Psychology. So that paragraphs about psychology. So then I would say, because this would be, it would really help in taking the notes. So we'll go to paragraph 5 on the reading. Here will be second golden age. Right? And the last paragraph would be for sure the conclusion. Paragraph 6 would be conclusion. I just write, instead of writing it all, I'll just write CONCL, conclusion. So this would be how would I take my notes. Because we have only a few minutes to prepare after reading, so we can start answering. So this is how would my note be. And so you will make of each paragraph, when you read it, what did you learn, or what is that paragraph talking about? For sure, the beginning of the paragraph will be about intro, and then you will write a little bit about what it is. And then again on the second paragraph, it depends on the topic that you have, but this is how you should prepare. So when you start answering, or when you start answering the questions that you have, then you will know, okay, this question is talking about the early mid 19th century. So I would know when I see my notes that the third paragraph is talking about the same topic. So then I would go to the third paragraph on the reading, and I will see what is the answer to the questions that I have. And that's how it is, and how it really help you to prepare your notes. Now, the one thing that you need to know, you don't need to take general notes, because that might mix you up. But again, at the end, you can use whatever strategy that you want. But this is the strategy that I learned, and I wouldn't take any general notes. I'll just make it just short like this, so it just remind me which paragraph is talking about which, and it will be easier for me to, to answer all the questions. Just to keep the board full, I'll just write here, as I said, no need to take general notes. So I hope this would help you in terms of your note taking for the reading section. So now we'll go for note taking for listening. Note taking for listening. Now, during the listening part, it's not a good idea to take notes during the listening. You have to focus on what you're listening. That's very important. You don't take notes, just focus on what you're listening so that you don't get mixed up on, or you don't forget. Because if you take notes, you can try it. If you take notes while listening, sometimes you are still taking notes about the first part of the person talking while he's already on the second part, and you wouldn't get, noticed or whatever he said on the second part. So you have to concentrate first of all, just to follow up. At the same time, what you can do, as I say, so you don't miss anything, because the note might distract you from the questions as you listen. Because right now, what you do is that you listen closely to what the speaking is, so you'll be listening to it, the recording. You listen to it. At the same time, what you can do is you look at the questions. Listen and take a look at the questions. So that would really help you in, writing the answers. So I'll just write this 2 points. Need to focus on what you are hearing. So you don't miss important information. Taking notes might distract you from questions as you listen. The fourth thing is that you don't need to take detailed notes. So as we said, we're not going to take notes at all. But in case if you decide to take notes, don't take detailed notes. Just try to take the bulletin points as we explained for the reading section. But just to advise you again, it's better to not take notes. But I just write this point. No need to take detailed notes. In addition to what we have discussed, for the writing and speaking section, so note taking, writing, and speaking. So the first thing that you need to know, as we have explained previously, is no need to take detailed note. Again, I'm repeating this for all the sections. No need to take detailed notes. Just use the notes form that we told you. That one, that's what you use. Okay? Now, in addition to that, you can look at the lecture notes for the writing and speaking section. So basically, look at the lecture notes. As you know, you'll be having the reading section and the lecture note. So just if you want notes, you can also look at the lecture notes, just to make it easy for you. Now here, I'll just give you some other tips for note taking. Tips for note taking. The first tip would be try to take short notes. Use words and phrases in a point form, as I explained previously. Try to keep your notes short. Use phrases and notes in a point form. Try to keep your notes short. All right? Try to keep your notes short. Use phrases and words in point form. I hope you're already by now understanding what I mean by this. That would be the notes P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, P6. I think now I have repeated this more than one time, and I think by now it's already in your mind. You will never forget it. So the other important thing, the tips that you need to know, and I'll just repeat it again. The other point would be use abbreviations and symbols wherever you can. Use abbreviations or symbols wherever you can. So these are very important 2 tips. Now the last tip that I can give you before the end of this video is you need to organize your notes. Again, I mean, this is the form that I told you here, but in case, you don't want to make the paragraph 1 a very, very long note. Just 2 points, using the abbreviations, simples or whatever. Don't make it a lot. So the last step would be organize your notes. Organize it. You don't want to write the notes and then after that when you need it, you don't understand what it is. So organize it. Organize your notes. So I hope this video have already explained to you exactly and made it easy for you to take notes during your CAEL exam. If there is something that I missed, because I'm still learning too, and I'm preparing for my CAEL exam. So if there is anything that I missed, please don't forget to comment below, because it's going to help me for my exam, or it will help others that will be viewing the video. So subscribe to the channel, share it, like, and press on the bell button to be notified when we have the next video. Thank you.